And I don't know, comparing herself to Martin Luther King when Martin Luther King went to jail, I mean, it's sort of different because people were, I mean, black men were being lynched, people were being hosed. I mean, it's kind of similar. I know people say, you know, that whole gay and the black thing.
No, it's not similar. It's not similar.
It's similar in the same, in the way that people are being oppressed. It's similar in the way that people are being oppressed.
You know what? No, black people were being harassed by homegrown terrorism called the KKK.
Correct.
The FBI still wants, they are a terrorist group. Black people were being harassed. We were being killed. We were not allowed to vote. We were not allowed the freedom to be human. We were looked upon as less.
Exactly.
She does not need to be comparing herself to MLK. It is not the same. He was fighting for human rights.
Correct. He was fighting for human rights. Ms. D, what I'm saying is like that people are being oppressed in each situation. Now, I know that the severity in the situation that black people were, I mean, we were beat, we were lynched, we were hosed, people were getting raped, people died, you know, I mean, I'm not comparing like the struggle with that, but I'm just saying it's kind of similar in the way that people are being oppressed, but totally we know that black people went through more, you know, with getting our freedoms and stuff like that. I totally understand that. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dawson with Miss D on the line. Say what's up to the people, Miss D.
Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, Miss D hit me up last night. She wanted to do a show about the county clerk who refuses to give marriage license to same-sex couple Kim Davis. Now, Ms. D, this started out really small, but now it has just become a wildfire, even so that you have political people getting involved, politicians getting involved in it, and so many people are having their say as to this particular situation. Many people are saying that, you know, Kim Davis should just go ahead and do her job and keep religion out of it. And many people are applauding her, saying that she is doing the will of God by standing up for her religious freedoms and not, you know, agreeing with same-sex marriage. Now, Ms. D, what do you say about this?
I will remind people that there is a separation of church and state.
Correct.
She is working a state job.
Yes.
It is state law trumps religious. Your personal religious belief, that has nothing to do with it. She was elected or appointed to do a job and she needs to do it. If her religious beliefs are interfering with that job, she needs to step down.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the things that a lot of people who were protesting, you know, at her particular office, they were throwing up in Kim's face is that, Kim, you're saying that, you know, these same-sex couples, you know, they can't get married. And even some of the couples were saying, you know, you're refusing our marriage license, but you've been married 4 times. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 times. And the couple who was there trying to get their marriage license were stating to her that they had been together for 20 years. There seems to be a notion that when it comes to gay and lesbian relationships, that some people just don't think that, I guess, they can have long-term relationships. They just think, you know, it's a nasty, dirty lifestyle, and that these people, you know, basically, they can't be like straight people in terms of having, you know, a relationship, raising kids. That seems to be an undertone that most people, especially religious people, have.
It's a double standard for Christians. See, you can point out a Christian person's sins, and then it will say, well, I took it before God, and I've been forgiven.
Correct.
Okay, then. Well, let me be able to take my own stuff before God when I get ready to take it before God, not when you tell me.
Exactly.
You know, you're going to look at my sins and judge me, but we're not allowed to judge you because you evidently have been forgiven.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. I agree with that. There seems to be a double standard in this. And there was a gentleman, Tom Kidd, who made a statement. He said, religious freedom in the United States is the ability to worship whosoever you want at any time you want on your own time. It is not an automatic license to impose your religious beliefs on others. That's why church and state must remain separate. And I totally agree with that because of this current situation that somebody like Miss Davis is, you know, just putting her religious beliefs before her job. If you feel so strongly that, you know, your religious beliefs just overtake your life, then why don't you go work for your local church? Why are you working for the government?
Exactly. Go find you another job. There were people who had religious beliefs about interracial dating. They felt it was immoral.
Yeah.
They felt that it was a sin. That
people
black
still
and white people should not be. I mean, there's people that still do. Now, we don't say that those people should be allowed to uphold their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you are allowed to have your religious beliefs, and like you said, your personal home, with your personal time and personal space. You're not allowed to come to your job and then impose that on everyone else. And don't give me that foolishness about now the state is imposing stuff on us. The state is not imposing anything on you. You were appointed to do a job. Now do it.
But it's true. If you judge other people, you open yourself up to be judged. And I think that, you know, one of the things that I was kind of taken aback by was her comparing herself to Martin Luther King with recently being jailed for not upholding the judge's order. And, you know, when her lawyer was asked, you know, how she's doing in jail, he said that, you know, she is in good spirits and she has her Bible beside her and she still strongly believes in what she believes in. And I don't know, comparing herself to Martin Luther King when Martin Luther King went to jail, I mean, it's sort of different because people were, I mean, black men were being lynched, people were being hosed. I mean, it's kind of similar. I know people say, you know, that whole gay and the black thing.
No, it's not similar. It's not similar.
It's similar in the way that people are being oppressed. It's similar in the way that people are being oppressed.
You know what? No. Black people were being harassed by homegrown terrorism called the KKK.
Correct.
That the FBI still wants. They are a terrorist group. Black people were being harassed. We were being killed. We were not allowed to vote. We were not allowed the freedom to be human. We were looked upon as less.
Exactly.
She does not need to be comparing herself to MLK. It is not the same. He was fighting for human rights.
Correct. He was fighting for human rights. Ms. D, what I'm saying is like that people are being oppressed in each situation. Now, I know that the severity in the situation that black people were, I mean, we were beat, we were lynched, we were hosed, people were getting raped, people died. You know, I mean, I'm not comparing like the struggle with that, but I'm just saying it's kind of similar in the way that people are being oppressed, but totally we know that black people went through more, you know, with getting our freedoms and stuff like that. I totally understand that. But I mean, there are people, but to your point, there are some people who compare both equally, saying it's the same thing as a struggle for civil rights for blacks as it is with gays.
Oh, well, okay. I thought she was talking about from Kim's point of view.
Oh, not with Martin Luther King. I don't compare her to Martin Luther King. No. Because Martin Luther King was... No, I don't compare her to Martin Luther King. No.
Well, okay, that previous statement, she compares herself to Martin Luther King. Okay, she compares herself to Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Now, as far as gay people, yes, they want the same rights that everyone else has, and why shouldn't they have them? Because you don't believe in them? You know, there's a bunch of stuff that people didn't believe back in the day that later on, you know, wiser, smarter people minds prevailed and changed those laws. Okay?
The world operates on beliefs. I totally understand that, and I totally believe, you know, that, you know, if you have a strong belief and it is something that's going to hinder you from doing a job, that you really should particularly think about taking that job on, especially when you're in customer service, when you're in a job like Kim Davis is in, or anyone else that you have to deal with people, or in a job like what we deal with. Why would you get in a job where you
deal with all kinds of people,
exactly,
doing all kinds of things with all kinds of beliefs and thought systems? Okay, and honestly, her job is to sign off on marriage certificates and other documents. That's her job.
You know,
she refused to sign off on it. She wouldn't let her assistant sign off on it either. That's how deep she took it.
Exactly, but Ms. D, one of the things that those gentlemen, when they went to the office to get their license, like earlier this week, that they pointed out to her, is that you have been married 4 times. And people who have all these super morals and all this kind of stuff, they could go out and be porn stars, be strippers, molest kids, do all this kind of stuff, but then come back, well, God forgave me, I'm okay now. And I don't get that. It's just like...
It's crazy.
It's very crazy. I mean, God 4 times you've been married.
God.
Yeah, you've been married 4 times.
Yes, just like the Duggars. Yes, the same thing. Found out their son was molesting their daughters. Did they go get him help?
No, they didn't. Nope. Jesus took care of it. You know,
Jesus took care of it. They prayed about it as a family.
Exactly.
And seen him to go hang out with the sheriff, who later went jail on child pornography.
Exactly. And the same thing, you know, like we were talking about that pastor up in Atlanta, you know, 6 boys accused him of molesting them, but hey, we prayed for it and our bishop is good now, and now we move on. We forget about the victims. We forget about this stuff that continues to happen. Whatever. That's all I want to talk about on this subject. If you have those type of beliefs that Kim Davis has, go work for your church and don't work in areas where you have to deal with other people. I think that's the best solution.
Please go be the church secretary or something along those lines.
Go work for the young adult ministry or something. Do something in your
start
church.
up your own business, because trust me, no one is going to be trying to get anything from you if you're discriminating anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so just go do something along those lines and make us all happy. Make us all happy.
Exactly. Well, that's all we're going to talk about on this subject. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks, Miss D. Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Peace.